Welcome, Mahendrahills. Welcome, Mahendrahills.
So Jyoti, I have shared the live ka thing.
Okay. Okay,
You
ma'am.
can group and all. Okay.
Shall I circulate it, ma'am?
And do we have certain students coming? Because students, I think there are nobody, only 4. They
I
should
just
be joining by now.
Ma'am, I asked Housemaster
We asked.
ma'am the list of students to be in as soon as possible. To remind them once again, we are already reminded, and our housemasters are behind them. They come soon.
Yeah, hello. Just check all of you whether it is coming live on YouTube or not. Rajitha and Jyoti, just check no whether it is coming live or not.
Ma'am, can you please send me the link, ma'am, if you don't mind?
It is there in the chats, ma. Once again, I'm
Ah,
sending.
yes. Thank you, ma'am. La is not till.
Yeah, Jyoti, I've shared it in your WhatsApp also.
Thank you, ma'am. I'll just check.
Rajitha and Jyoti, both of you have shared it.
Yes, ma'am. I already shared in the staff group as well as Mahendrahills group. Ma'am, all the teachers are sharing in the coaching group. The work is done.
And one more thing, when you're speaking, please keep your video on. Keep it here. You want to sit in please? Yes, students, why don't you call your friends? It's very hard. It's 11 o'clock. All the students, call your friends and just ask them to join the show. Rajita, if you are in the college, just ask the teachers to just tell them all the students to come and join. Dr.G. Hello, Jyoti madam, can you start? Can you just
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It's getting delay, ma'am.
Rajitha is
Shall I start?
on the line?
Shall I start, ma'am?
Yeah, you start. You introduce me so that I can also tell you.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, ma'am. Hearty welcome to one and all. This is Dr.V.Jyothi from Mahendrahills, Head Department of English. Today is an important event for all of us. The reason is that we are going to present a webinar on communication and soft skills. And this is the day which we have been waiting quite a long. Because our objective behind this program is to bring awareness in the students, especially outgoing batches. And here we proudly welcome two eminent speakers of the state, Dr. Lance Nagaraju sir and Chetana Jain ma'am. Hearty welcome to you, sir and ma'am. The duo will focus on soft skills. As Anne Morrow Lindbergh says, good communication is just as stimulating as black coffee and just as hard to sleep after. A good communication skill is just like that. So it's very important for us to improve our communication skills. And these days, wherever we go, either in personal or professional life, we need life skills, and the importance has been growing global wide. Here I take privilege to welcome our principal ma'am, Dr. G. Nirupa, who is a constant support for us in organizing such kind of academic events. I also welcome Vice Principal ma'am for encouraging us to take up this task. I welcome all staff, students, and other participants into this great program. Now, I would like to request our principal ma'am to deliver the event.
Yeah,
Ma'am,
thank you, Jyoti.
over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Jyoti, and very good morning to all of you. It's a very privilege that we are having eminent speakers on the show today and for the webinar today. And I welcome M. Nagaraju, who's been a teacher trainer, and Chetana Jain, the two speakers of today, to our national webinar. It is a very delight to have you on our Zoom meeting, ma'am and sir. And I hope because this is a nowadays it has been a very important task that soft skills are very important. So this session is going to be a very important session to all of our students, in keeping in mind of their out, because some of them are outgoing and they need to go for some other job or opportunities and so on and so forth. And for these things, for these challenges and all, your lecture or your talk will make them or will motivate them to a very higher level. I hope that you will be able to
Principal ma'am, you are not audible, ma'am. Can you please unmute, ma'am?
Okay, right. So, right. So
Okay.
once again, I just I welcome Dr. Nagaraju Garu and Chetana Jain, both of the eminent speakers of today. And today's session is going to be a brainstorming and all. I hope it's going to be a very good challenge to all of us students, because many of them are outgoing students and who have joined here, and they need the skills of presenting an interview or facing the challenges of interviews and all those things. And even if they go to some other career also, the soft skills are going to be a very hot cake nowadays, and it is a must for everyone. That is the scenario of today's day. So keeping that in mind, the organizers, the English department has organized a very wonderful session. I hope all of them are going to take proper use of this session, and going to take care of each and every session of talks and all. And it's going to be a wonderful show. And thank you once again. I don't want to take much of my time now, and I hand it over to the speakers of the day, so that they can interact with our students. Thank you
I,
so much.
I'll introduce, ma'am. Now the session will be initiated by Dr. Lance Nagaraju, sir. Before that, I would like to give a brief intro. I really thanks Nagaraju sir for accepting our proposal and doing with serving the society, because he being an eminent person organized more than 1,000 sessions in India for the benefit of youth, and also a master trainer who trained managers and staff at Google, Infosys, and many other corporate firms. Dr. M. Nagaraju sir taught English language and literature to graduate and postgraduate students at various colleges till he retired from the government service in 2012 as a selection grade lecturer in English. Earlier, he served as a principal of a postgraduate college for 5 years. He was a conscientious and popular teacher for over 36 years, with additional responsibilities of student advisor for 12 years, discipline committee convener for 9 years, and college annual magazine chief editor for 14 years. He organized more than 15 educational tours across the length and breadth of the country. He made innovative efforts to make learning an interesting and enjoyable experience for his students. Now, I would like to invite an outstanding speaker, Dr. N. Nagaraju sir, to throw some light on leadership and continuous learning process. Over to you, Nagaraju sir.
Thank you, Dr. Jyothi. Will you please give me the screen share option? You have to enable the screen share option for me so that I can show my PowerPoint.
It's done, sir. Just check it out.
It's not done yet. Yes, now it's done. Right. Right. Okay. Good morning, everybody. A very happy morning to all those who are participating in this program. I thank the principal of the college, Dr. Nirupa, and Ms. Rajitha, who approached me with a request a few days ago, and all the other teachers of this college for taking this wonderful initiative this morning and putting up this wonderful, the benefit of teachers and students. I've been asked to speak for the next 40 minutes about leadership and learning and the importance of both these for students as well as teachers. I think it's parallelly being telecast live on YouTube. I don't know, but maybe I cannot see in case they post any answers or responses. Maybe I'll request somebody to help me in case there is any interaction on YouTube. But if it's happening only on Zoom, okay, maybe I think there are only some 39 participants here. In case you would like to ask me a question, give a comment, or give an answer to a question that I ask you, please feel free to open that chat box and then type there. Okay, are you all with me? Good. Let's move on. I think that there are some 2 or 3 microphones of participants switched on. You may please switch off them so that it will be easier for the participants to follow, and there won't be any noise and distraction.
Sir, I have muted everyone. So please, you please unmute it, sir.
Okay, right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That's really wonderful. Good. Okay, let's move on. In case any one of you, you are already a teacher, a principal, or you are just a student, you are leaving college soon, you are looking for a job opportunity, wherever, whatever you are. I just would like to begin you asking this question. Do you think you are a leader? In the college atmosphere, is the principal the only leader there? Or are there other leaders too? Are you a leader? If you think you are a leader, please type yes in the chat box. Let me see at least 2 or 3 answers there. If you think you are a leader, if you think you're not a leader, just type no. I don't think I can see the chat box here, but perhaps in case you get any responses, one of you can read them for me. You can unmute yourself and read them. Are there any responses? Rajitha or somebody can help me?
Sir, we are looking into it, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Someone is saying yes, sir.
Okay, you 1 or 2? Right, anyway, I think they are still not used to using the chat box. Perhaps you can become familiar with that very soon. You can just open that chat window at the bottom and you can type your answers there. Okay, if you think that you are a leader, perhaps we can have a series of questions. What makes you think that you are a leader? What proves that you are a leader? What skills do you have to establish that you are a leader? And so many other questions. If you think again that you are not a leader, the same questions apply to you also. Why do you think you're not a leader? What makes you believe that you do not have the leadership qualities or you have not made any leadership related accomplishments? So, I mean, let's go into those details perhaps in course of time. I just would like to tell you by giving my own answer that everyone is a leader. There is no exception to that rule. Everyone that's born human is a leader in some way or the other. There are leaders at every level. Some people think only the prime minister is a leader, or only the school principal is the leader, or only the head of some organization is the leader, or some union leader is a leader, etc. No. So everybody is a leader. For instance, in your family, there is a leader. Within your family, there may be 4 members, 3 members in a family. Among 3 members, there is a leader. Your class has a leader, right? If you form a small group of 10 students working together in a project, you have a leader. One of you becomes the leader. So in various kinds of situations, everybody has opportunity to be a leader, and also you have an access to acquire, build the leadership skills and also evolve gradually as a better leader in course of time. So everyone is a leader. Please be assured about that. So if you by chance did not say yes, now be assured that you are a leader too. Then if I am a leader already, if I'm already a leader, what should I do? I'm already a leader. If I told you that you are a leader already, is there anything else to do? There is a lot to do. Because our leadership skills are not uniform, right? We have some skills. Some of them are potentially inside, right? Not conspicuously, obviously present to the outside world. Some of them, they are there in me, but I have not properly cultivated them. Right? So in case I want to be a better leader, I need to find what skills I need, what kind of leader I would like to be, and what skills do I need, how to build those skills. And If you have answers to the second and third questions, perhaps you can write them to me later, but I just would like to help you in the next some time that I've been given me. I think Rajitha told me that I should take about 40 minutes, but I'll try to close by about 12:10. It's 11:30 now. I'll try to close by 12:10. Okay, so if you are a leader or if you think you have leadership skills already, right, you have to ask the question too, what skills do I need to grow further as a leader in that sphere of human life which I have chosen to excel in? And what skills do I need to build further? And on that count, let me tell you that leaders, for that matter, anybody, because everybody is a leader, everybody needs a lot of different kinds of skills. I've listed only some 6 of them there, but there are hundreds of different kinds of skills that are essential and that are imperative for us to build so that we can excel in life. They include, right, our communication skills, of course, important for everybody. It's not only just knowledge. How we communicate decides how we succeed in life. Whatever you become, whether you become a teacher or a principal, or whether you become an industrialist or a businessman, whether you get a job in a bank or some other establishment, wherever, your communication skills are absolutely important to you. I think somebody else will talk about that. Your own ability to motivate yourself, self-motivational skills. They often call motivation skills, but I call them self-motivation skills. How much you can motivate yourself to achieve what you want to achieve. Right? Then your ability to take decisions, your ability to manage time, your ability to mingle with people, your ability to get along with people, your ability to resolve conflicts. So 100 other kinds of skills are essential in case you want to succeed in life. Today, for my presentation, I have chosen 2 of them, which I think are absolutely essential in whatever position you are, whatever kind of leader you want to become, wherever you want to be, and in whatever format you would like to succeed. The 2 that I have chosen are your ability to learn. I call them learning skills. You might not have heard of that, but I prefer to call them learning skills. How well, how quickly, how effectively, how proficiently you learn new things. That's one skill. And 2, leadership skills, which of course I'm talking to you about. That's the main focus of my presentation. So the 2 skills in the light blue color that I've shown you there are the ones that I'm going to focus on. Other ones perhaps we'll discuss some other time or somebody else will talk to you about. So when I say that you need to build your skills, you have to begin by setting some goals for yourself. What are these goals for yourself? They may relate in your context. I'm talking to particularly students now, and it may relate to teachers also in case they are looking around for better opportunities in the academic field. So one is your academic goals, education goals. So what kind of courses you would like to take? Just because you've already become a teacher, you've already become a principal or whatever, don't think you need not learn anything. So your academic goals are one set of goals that you need to set for yourself. In case you've not already got a job, your employability skills. What skills will help you get a job that you want? You have to have some goals for that. If you set goals, you will build the necessary skills. And your efficiency skills, how efficient you are in whatever job you take up. Some people are good at doing everything because their efficiency levels are very high. It's not what job that we do that's important, but how well we do that job that's important. So efficiency goals. Then your ability to enjoy, what kind of life you would like to enjoy, what kind of happiness, and who gives you that happiness? Nobody. You have to get that happiness yourself. So this is also a goal. One must have a goal about what kind of life I would like to live, what kind of happiness I would like to enjoy, what kind of enjoyment I would like to have for myself. And maybe to some students, not all, who perhaps are not interested in employment, but would like to be entrepreneurs. You would like to set up your own industry, your own business. Maybe you would like to start a college of your own or some such thing. For such people, even entrepreneurial skills also are important. So these are some goals and goal-related skills. Let's do a very simple exercise, right? It will help you understand why I talk about goals and skills today, right? All of you I'll start the time for you, all of you, what together, you will just, what you'll do is you'll just clap like this. Okay? When do you clap? When I say start. And how long will you clap? Till I say stop. So I'll give you 30 seconds time. I'm just opening a clock here. Let me just wait if it opens. Yes, it's opening. Just a moment. Yes. This clock is set for 30 seconds. What I'll do is I'll start this here. When I start the clock, start clapping like this. And while clapping, count the number of times you are clapping in your mind. Right? Count 1, 2, 3, 4 like this, and then clap. Are you ready? Yeah, go ahead. Let's start. Clap now and count. While you are clapping, count. I cannot hear you, but I can visualize what's happening. I think I can hear one or two of you. Perhaps you've unmuted yourself. That's why I can hear you, but otherwise it's okay. Just go on doing it. 5 seconds left. Right. Thank you. Okay. So whatever be the number, but that's not important. Whatever be the number of times you clapped, just make a note. In case you have a piece of paper with you and pen with you, you can just write down the number of times you clapped. If you don't have a piece of paper, don't worry. You just remember that number, whatever that number is. It could be 20, 30, 40, 50, 100, 500, whatever. As the number of times you have clapped, just remember that. Now, we are going to do the same exercise again, but slightly different seconds. You have to clap again, but a condition. The condition is before you begin clapping, and in case you have a piece of paper, write your goal, the number of times you'll clap in 30 seconds, write that goal on a piece of paper. And in case you don't have a piece of paper, as I told you already, you can just remember that. Whatever number you arrive at is fine with me. Fix a number, think of a number. Okay, I'm starting that now. So are you all ready? Okay, I'm starting the clock now. Begin. I think all of you are clapping quite loud and clear and fast, passionately engaged in that. Very good. I can visualize some of you smiling, happy, enjoying the whole thing. It's going to stop. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. Stop now. Right. Okay, let me go back to my slideshow and let me ask one or two of you, perhaps in case you can access the chat box again. How many of you have exceeded the goal that you set for yourself? For instance, you wanted to do 50 times, you wanted to clap, but you did 51 times. If you exceeded, you can just say, I did, or maybe your name, right? Yes, any indication in the chat box. Somebody will read that for me. Has anybody exceeded? Please see the chat box and help me. Okay, can somebody help me, please? Dr. Jyothi or Rajitha or somebody from the college. Has anybody typed that they have exceeded the number that they have set for themselves?
Hello?
I think I can access it from here. Rajitha has done it. And Anusha has done it. Anuradha has done 90 times against 76. And Anusha says she crossed 80. Wow, that's good. And many others, Shaheen, Srilata, and a few others also have done it. I think quite a few of you. Very good. Oh, good. That makes it easy for me to tell you now. Manusha says 96 against 87 the first time. Okay. Shaheen also says, yes, sir, I did. Okay, right. We'll stop there. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot for your answers. Now, some of you exceeded the target that you set for yourself. Some of you, maybe some others who have not responded, perhaps did not exceed the target, but they reached almost the number that they had set for themselves. Some of you lagged far behind that. So whether you exceeded or not, that's not important. But there is a difference between the way you did it the first time, the way you did it the second time. The first time, you did not have any target. I just asked you to clap as many times as you wanted, any number of times, and you just did it. Not very serious about that, not very passionate. There was no goal. Anything was good. But the second time, you worked with a certain goal in mind. So you had said 96, 100, 200, 150, 45, whatever the number you had said. And now you are trying to achieve that number. I'm sure you enjoyed it certainly much better the second time when you did it, because you had a target to achieve, you had a goal that you set for yourself, and you are trying to achieve that. And many of you have succeeded also. Now look at life, look at your career, look at your education, look at what you are doing right now in your life. Suppose you are doing anything, your education for instance, without any goal, achievement will neither be thrilling nor will be great. I think 99.9% of you did more claps the second time compared to the first time. I'm sure all of you did. Nobody has set a goal lower than the first time that you clapped. I don't think. Right? I'm sure you agree with me. So in case we set targets to our own lives, our own academic achievements, our own other goals, right, that we have in our lives, I think how different life would be. So how many marks have you scored? Suppose you have a goal for scoring higher marks. How many courses have you done? Suppose you have a goal for more courses, teachers particularly, continuous learning. So I've already done 5 courses, right? 5 very useful courses to me. Even after I become a teacher, I have joined some professional institutions, some distance course, some online school, and then I have acquired these. Now I want to earn some more, so I have a goal. So in case you begin working with a goal, life will be easier, success will be easier. This is what I want to tell you. I think you have understood that. So work with a goal. So in case you want to achieve the goals that you've set for yourself, the first thing that you need to do is build self-confidence. Look at this cat that's looking into a mirror, right? And what's the cat thinking? The cat is a cat, but the cat thinks that it's a lion. It sees a lion in the mirror. Now, tomorrow when you look into a mirror, what do you see in the mirror? Do you see yourself? Please stop seeing yourself in the mirror. You must be able to see what you want to be there. Right after this class is over, go back home. I think you are at home already. Maybe look into a mirror. And then when you look into the mirror, imagine seeing the one you want to become. Suppose you want to become the principal of a college. So there should be a principal seen in the mirror. Suppose you want to become an engineer. So there must be somebody in your image working as an engineer. Right? Suppose you want to see a scientist. So you must be able to see yourself as a scientist in that mirror. So the moment you become capable of visualizing yourself in that role and achieving the goal that you've set for yourself, I think goals become much easier. I'll quickly show 1 or 2 other examples and then move on. So there is a bud here. And if the bud, somebody asks the bud, where is the flower there? The flower is already inside the bud. All that the bud needs to do is open. It opens, but it happens gradually, very slowly. Right? Similarly, where is the flower in you? Where is that successful person in you? You are only a bud now. Right? You are beginning to blossom now. You are beginning to open up tomorrow. And for that, of course, the effort has begun. And you have started working in that direction. And I'm sure very soon you are going to be very bright, very fragrant, and very delicious very wonderful, beautiful, impressive flower. For that, of course, you need to wait, you need to work, and you need to gradually evolve. The same story with the butterfly also. You all know about the pupa. How difficult life might be when it's a butterfly, when it's a pupa, right? Within that chrysalis, right? As it grows, evolves, breaks it open, it must be, I think, a very, very arduous task for the butterfly. I think you can visualize that. But when it comes out, it's a beautiful butterfly. The same is the case with every one of you, students, even teachers. So what you are experiencing now, what you are passing through now is only one phase of your life. If you come out of that and if you are able to set a goal for yourself, visualize yourself in that role and go through these ordeals, which are temporary, life will be very bright for you and you'll begin realizing all the potential that you are born with and you are capable of and achieving much bigger things. Okay. I wish I could ask you and chat more. Not many of you are participating in the chat, but anyway, and also because the time is limited, let me just answer the question myself. So many students, when I go to physical presentations, I often engage students in interacting. I ask them to talk to me. I give them plenty of time to think and tell me. I ask people to identify maybe 2 things, 3 things, 5 things that they need to become successful in life. And these are the answers that students have given me. Students say, sir, I need money to succeed in life. I need my parents, sir, my parents' support I need. Some students say, sir, I don't have parents. My father is no longer alive, or my mother has this problem, or I lost this, I lost that. Something happened, and that's why I'm not as successful as I wanted to be. Right? And people ascribe, people think that these are the reasons for not succeeding as big in life as they want to succeed. So they think, oh, I'm not going to a big institution. Luckily, I think students in this kind of colleges are some of the luckiest in the country, and you're going to some of the best colleges taught by the best teachers with the best equipment. And I've visited lots of residential degree colleges of the Telangana Social Welfare Department. So maybe at least I might have visited not less than 30, 40 colleges. I know they are extremely well run and the students there are absolutely lucky. But I'm talking about others. Many others say, sir, my institution is not good. My teachers don't teach. Right? My classes are not good. My furniture is not good. Something like that. Then they complain against teachers. They complain against their social status, about their physical health, the relationships that they have built, the recognition that some students complain, sir, I'm doing so much, but nobody recognizes my work. I deserve the first class, but it has not been given me. Some people think that these factors decide whether we are successful or not. But I'm sorry, I disagree with you. You might have heard hundreds of interesting, motivating, powerful, impressive stories about people, great people, who have succeeded despite lacking all these things. So there are people, I mean, every year you also see some of the poorest people are the top rankers in universities and colleges and examinations. People without parents are, I mean, achieving as big as people with parents. So all these are only perhaps pretexts. I need not give you examples of big people. You look around in your own class, in your own surroundings, in your own village. If I take the examples of Amitabh Bachchan, Sachin Tendulkar, or maybe somebody else, perhaps they are irrelevant to you. That's useless. You need not be a Sachin Tendulkar. What I'm asking you is, despite having or not having these, you can succeed if you have these things on the left side. The ones on the right side are not important, but the ones on the left side decide whether you are successful or not. Do you have goals? Have you created some good action plans to realize those goals? Is it just a goal means, is it a dream, or are you doing something to achieve that goal? Are you capable of hard work, smart work? Do you know how to manage your time? Right? Are you always punctual? Do you have some discipline in life? Do you have some basic core values in life that will decide what you are? You are known for some values, right? Are you learning continuously? Right? Is your learning happening, whatever you are? you are the topmost man in the world, but still you must continuously be learning, right? The highest placed professor in the university, the best university in the world also is learning today. He's sitting in the library and learning. Why? Because learning makes us successful. Without learning, we are worse than what we are yesterday. Because even if we don't advance in terms of our learning, learning has happened in the world. The world is more knowledgeable. Right. Okay, so do I have fresh ideas, some creative ideas, thoughts, right? Do I have some good habits? Have I made some good habits? All these things decide, the ones on the left side, all these things decide whether I am really successful. So before I move on to the next slide, let me tell you, the ones on the right side are good. If I have them, it's excellent. If I have money, if I have very caring parents, capable, very well educated, and very supportive, compassionate parents, if I have all the good. But that's not a limiting factor. Even without any of these things on the right side, I can still succeed if I have the things on the left side. But the left ones, the left list, does not have a substitute. Without them, you cannot succeed. Right? Move on. I think you can hear the audio also. Let me play this. This is a long video, but I'll play it for half a minute. Okay, I'll stop it now. I'll play another video for you. Okay, let me stop. I think you've understood the purpose of playing these two videos to you. You might have already understood what I wanted to tell you. What I told you in the previous slide, I am telling you now. The boy on the left side is equipped. His parents have supported him perhaps, or he has got enough money. He has got all the instruments, the branded instruments that he wanted, and he has been trained. Perhaps he has a very good teacher, right? Very good support from everybody, and he has become an expert. Great, wonderful. Hats off to him. The boy on the right side does not have any of those things. The boy on the left side, he does not even have a shirt to wear. And where are those instruments from? All these instruments are created, designed, used very imaginatively by that boy himself. I don't think he bought any of those things from outside. And perhaps even to use them, parents perhaps did not help him. Maybe when he brought that plate and used it as his drums, maybe his mother did not like it. Maybe his mother scolded him and told him, "Oh, you bloody fellow, you are spoiling that plate." But both these boys have great talent, great potential, great passion to learn and to perform. And both of them are equally successful. And perhaps one day the boy on the right side will be much more successful than the boy on the left side. Possible, I'm just guessing. So now you put yourself in that position, right? What are you? Whatever you are is not important. But what's important is how much fire you have in your heart. How much passion you have in your heart. What kind of energy flows in you? What kind of ignition you have given yourself? I said self-motivation skills. Deliberately, I usually in books and websites you see motivational skills. Motivation. I deliberately called it a skill first. Motivation is not a skill, I know, but I call it motivational skills. I call it self-motivational skills. So how do you motivate yourself? What do you tell yourself every day? How do you want to, or what makes you perform better tomorrow? So this is one question that I am leaving with you. And if you can find the answer to that, I think your success is assured. So whether you are on this left side or on this right side is not important to me. What is important to me is what kind of passion burns. Okay, right, let's move on. So whether you are good or you are better than somebody, you are the best in your class is not as important as whether you want to be better than whatever you are. You are something today, right? If you want to be something better than what you are today, That's the only thing that I want from you. The only assurance, I am not asking you where you are. Where are you this? Are you scoring 30 marks, 40 marks, 50 marks, 100 marks is not important to me. The only thing that you have to assure me is I will score more marks than I am scoring today. I will do something better than what I am doing today. I'll perform better than my current performance. I'll be 1 inch taller, not in physical size. But physical size, of course, we keep growing. 1 inch taller means I will be better, I'll be higher, I'll be greater, I'll be, more efficient, more productive, more capable. That's all. So tell yourself that you are going to be better than what you are today, better than the best. Anyone can do better. There is nobody in this world who cannot do better than what he is doing today. So I have put in bold one part of this, learn a little more. So how do I become better? By learning a little more. I think student time, the time that you are spending in the college today, even as a teacher, if you are a teacher, the college teacher time that you are spending in the college today is the best opportunity for you to learn. And once you get into other fields, it becomes a little more difficult for you. Time and energy and other things are constraints. But here, the only job that you have is learning. Every student who joins a college has only one single objective, one purpose for which he joins a college. One purpose for which he takes a course. If you have joined a college or if you are taking a course, why are you there? Only to learn more, learn easier, learn with greater efficiency, greater effectiveness, and what you learn, of course, apply and beyond. Right? Lots of creative thoughts and so many other things go together. But basically, you are there to learn. And if you're learning more, and if you're assuring yourself something bigger for you tomorrow, I think you are on the right path and success is good. So to build your confidence, what do you need? You give yourself these 5 things. Easy to remember as speak, S-P-E-A-K. You build your skills, think positive, you gain some experience while you are even a student, gain some experience of applying, doing. I think before this program began, there were some students interacting, and then I think they were talking about some creative craft and art that they have done. So that is some kind of hands-on experience. You are putting into practice what you are learning. Improve, change your attitude appropriately. That's a big subject. I'll not go into that. Right? Change your attitude in the right way so that your life becomes more comfortable to you and to others, and gain as much knowledge as you can. Then be empathetic. I think I would like you to, I'll just check. I think I have another 10 minutes. I'll show you this video. It's quite interesting. Just see this and then we'll discuss it a little later. I think you can hear this.
Daddy is the sweetest daddy in the world. Daddy is the most handsome, the smartest, the most clever, the kindest. He is my Superman. Daddy wants me to do well at school. Daddy is just great, but he lies. He lies about having a job. He lies about having money. He lies that he's not tired. that he is not hungry. He lies that we have everything. He lies about his happiness. He lies because of me.
Okay, I'm sorry if I've made you very emotional about this, but this is the story of every family. Maybe your father, your mother, your teacher, your friends, people in your circle are all going through ordeals like this in life to make you happy. So many people are contributing. Your teacher is going through the same kind of ordeals to make you happy, to make you learn. The principal, the management, your secretary, the government, so many hundreds and thousands of people are working around, working at every level to ensure that you have a very bright future. They are telling you lies to ensure that you have a bright future. Now, all that you need to is, you need not, at your age, perhaps you cannot begin doing something in return. Perhaps you have to at least recognize that, realize the value of the contribution that they are making to help you have better futures. So that's why, so learn to empathize. You put yourself in their shoes, in your parents' shoes, in your teacher's shoes, and in everybody's, in others' shoes, and then understand how life is, right? And that is one thing that you need to learn. So the first thing that I told you to learn is to improve your confidence. The second thing that I am asking you to learn is to empathize. And the third thing that I am asking you is to improve your communication skills. Perhaps there is another speaker who is going to focus on that. Perhaps I'll just in 1 minute, I'll tell you communication skills include your language skills and your body language skills. Improve your language and improve your body language also. And this makes you much more successful. Unless your language is good, unless your body language is effective, it's very difficult to succeed in the world. Right. Final, the last thing that I would like you to learn is to be disciplined in life. What is discipline? Just see this a few seconds video. What are they waiting for? They are waiting for this traffic signal. The ducks on the street trying to cross the road. Can you see the green light here in the distance? This one. So once the light turned green, they crossed the road. Right. So, this example is perhaps some kind of an exception. Don't expect every duck to do that. But they are trained to be disciplined. They've trained perhaps themselves to be disciplined. And we, with so much knowledge and so much opportunity, if we do not, become disciplined, who will help us? Whether it's the pandemic times or some other times, whether it's a class time or the home time, or whether you are on the road or in a movie theater or outside or wherever, right? Unless you discipline yourself, there's some kind of a self-discipline. There need not be a police constable all the time watching. There need not be a teacher always with a care in her hand and always disciplining you. So self-discipline, if we are self-disciplined, life is going to be great, life is going to be successful, life is going to be wonderful for every one of us. Finally, right, this is a very interesting story I'd like to share and close. So there was a little girl who was walking along the beach, and there was somebody selling balloons, all colors. So there was a red balloon, there was a white balloon, there was a blue balloon, there was a yellow balloon, there was a maroon balloon, all kinds of, all colors of balloons. And he was selling them. This little girl went to the vendor and asked the gentleman, "Uncle, suppose you have a black balloon there. Will it also fly? Why are black balloons not there? Will black balloons fly as high as those white and red and yellow and green balloons?" And the vendor said, as we all can guess that, "Betty, it's not the color of the balloon that makes it fly. It's not color that makes it fly. It's what's inside the balloon that makes it fly." Now, what is inside you is what's going to assure you success. So your physical appearance, your color of your complexion of your skin, your social background, the wealth that you are born in, the college that you go to, the laboratory facilities that you have, all these things are okay. They are there. They may play a small role. But what finally assures you success and what helps you go up in life really bright is what is in you, what are you made of, right? So I assure you, I wish you success. I wish you all the best. Maybe in case you have any questions, perhaps you can ask them now or maybe later, depending on what your teachers decide, the host decides. And depending on that, maybe you can post questions now, or in case you have question session at the end, you can postpone them till then. So I think it's my time. I stop here. Once again, wish you all the best. Thanks a lot. Thank you very, very, very much. I thank the principal. I thank the teachers, especially Rajitha, for giving me this wonderful opportunity. And Rajitha invited me to spend some time with you. I think this has been useful to you. And if you are inspired by it, and if you make some resolutions today, and if you set some goals for yourself today, and if you begin moving in that direction with the help of the principal, with the help of the teachers, with the help of the
It's really a pleasure to see you after so many days, and I really thank you for giving such a wonderful presentation here. And there is a quote says that discipline is a bridge between goals and accomplishment. So I think the closing of the story, which says that it's not the color of the balloon that matters, but the content that is inside the balloon that matters, is really fantastic. So none of our social status or our situations or our economic situations matter to us. Only the thing matters to us is our willpower. And thank you, sir. Thank you so much for being with us today. I wish all our students will post the questions to you on the chat box so that you can respond to them. Also, there is a link, a survey form that is available in the chat box on YouTube where you can post the questions and sir will be there to answer us. He is one of the senior most faculty and the state's best trainer, along with Chetana ji. Now I feel really happy and proud to invite Chetana ma'am to this platform. You know what a woman is and the power of a woman is. If you see this lady, you will understand that she is personification of power and personification of self-discipline. She is one of the topmost entrepreneurs ever available today in the system. As we all know, she also had been working on many projects and many other projects. I would like to give a short introduction to ma'am before I jump into the session. Chetana Jain, she is the director in the firm Brumatu and Consultants, and she has been working as a chief architect of the firm Brumatu and Consultants based on Hyderabad, having a presence of almost 2 decades in the market. That's the kind of firm she is in the market. Oh my God. And the firm is
Madam,
hello, hello. Are we audible?
I think you need to be a little more louder. We can't hear you.
All right. I'll be loud. Am I audible now, ma'am? Is it better now? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
So I think this works. So the firm is empaneled as architectural and structural consultants with various government and public sector organizations. The firm has dealt with projects of varied nature and volume. And Dumatu Consultants employs about 70 architects. Oh my God, it's a great number. And engineers who include urban planners, structural engineers, electrical engineers, plumbing, and HVAC engineers. And the mission is to deliver the best innovative design concepts and to be a pioneer in the field of infrastructure, energy efficient projects with green design concepts. I love this word, green design concepts. I think at the end, the conclusion point, ma'am could help us with this idea called green design concepts. And welcome, a hearty welcome, ma'am. A round of applause to ma'am to be because she has just accepted my invitation and said, okay, I'm ready to help these girls out because she wants you all to, or at least some of you to be like her in future. She's really gonna come with a very fantastic topic that is college to corporate. I really love that title, okay? And she is gonna be with us. Thank you all for being with us and welcome. A round of applause to Chetana ji. Welcome, Chetana ji.
Yeah, thank you, Rajitha, for the wonderful introduction. Am I good to go? Can I start my session?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. I think this is going to be a very important topic. Well, I have said it is college to corporate. Then this is one of those important topics which is useful in other spheres of life as well. It is not just that, you know, when you graduate out of college, only then you like try and look at these mannerisms. But there's also something which we look at about in our day-to-day life, how we conduct ourselves, how we go about meeting people, how we bridge the gap, how we establish a connection, how we build relationships. That's all about this, but then aptly, because it was more addressed towards the students, we named it as College to Corporate. And now I would just start sharing my presentation. Is the share screen enabled, please? Yeah. Uh, is it visible?
Yes, ma'am. Visible.
Yeah. Is it visible, or do I have to increase the
Could be better if you can make it full screen, ma'am.
do I put it in the full screen mode? That should be better, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, there we go. So I think we had a very good session with Lion Nagaraju Garu, and he had dwelled upon quite a few good, interesting topics, which are really, really important in our day-to-day life. Now, when I come to campus to corporate, you must be wondering why do you have to have this topic? Any which ways you would be graduating, you would go to the corporate for a job, or you would be looking at other job opportunities, you would be trying to put up something on your own. But then why this topic? This is because we want to give an individual an opportunity to prove their mettle, how well equipped they are for the current times. Because on the ongoing of this COVID, we all know that we are facing a new normal today. We are not in the normal time, you know, when we walked into places, when we met people, we shook our hands. Now the new normal says, stay away. So how are we coping up with this change? That is what we would like to know, because this is a paradigm shift. As a student, you are in a secure environment, or as an individual, probably wherever you are in a comfort zone. But when you come out of your comfort zone, when you step out of your comfort zone and start exploring opportunities or start exploring new avenues, then you try and understand that there are various aspects that need to be instilled in us to face the challenges which come head on to us. Then we also target this topic because we see that students have to transform from their being students to individuals who are ready to work in teams, who are ready to take responsibilities, who are being introduced to the new term called accountability, where they are accountable to lot many things that they are supposed to be doing. And we also need to find a whole new insight into the industry that we have today. There are two famous quotations I would like to tell you here. One is, we always said necessity is the mother of invention. How? Because every time a need comes up, we try and mold ourselves. Because there is no particular formula which says that if this works for me, this would work for you too. But definitely there is a thumb rule, which is how you go about it. But every time a need arises, you try and invent new methods. You try and look at a new perspective. You try and give a new kind of an insight into whatever the situation that comes up. The next thing I always say is first impression is the best impression. This is absolutely right, my dear friends. Because when you talk to a person, sometimes it so happens, most of us face this. You talk to a person over the phone and you're mighty impressed. You say, okay, this person is going to be great. I would love to meet them. But maybe when you meet them, they are not so great. But the first impression that they created on you, that this will be a great meeting, takes you a long way and you feel good about it. And the same way with people too. Suppose you are freshers and you've walked into the first year of your college. You find somebody walking into the class, you do not even feel like giving a second look to them. Same with us also in the industry. But there are people, when they walk into a room, they evoke your interest, they evoke your attention, and that is the impression they create on you. So that's why we say first impression is the best impression. Okay, now what is it that is different when you walk out of your campus to that of your corporate? While in college, what we do is we just learn. We learn to acquire knowledge. But then when you are going into the industry, you need to carry this learning and make an earning out of it. Because the learning that is taking place here in the college is for you to understand the concepts, it is for you to gain knowledge. But this learning, what you've learned in your college, is to be taken forward and help you to make your earning while you get out into the corporate world. Now, what does a college do for you? It creates the foundation for your future. But when you go out, what does the same very foundation which you created for the future do for you? It builds a career. It becomes an instrument to build your career, and hence, once a career is built, it will help you build your future. Now, this is the best part. As a student, you enjoy more freedom. But as an employee, as I said, you got to be more responsible. You have to take responsibilities because you are answerable to somebody. You are accountable to somebody. But as a student, you are not answerable to anybody except for yourself. You do not perform, you lose. But outside, if you do not perform, you are answerable. There are people who will question you as to why it is like that. You are given targets, you are supposed to meet those targets. When it comes to the student life, exams are a major qualifying criteria for you. But my dear friends, in life, there is no exam. Evaluation keeps happening every minute. Evaluation is done on a daily basis, on a minute to minute basis, on an hourly basis, because people are judging you, not just in terms of your work. People are judging you in terms of you as a person, you as a person who's sticking to their values, sticking to their morals, or how you want to perform. What is the kind of skill you carry? What is the kind of attitude you carry? What is the kind of vision or mission you have? What is the kind of passion you carry with you? So this is a very, very important aspect in life. We think, okay, I'm like this and I continue to be like this. But then, my dear friends, we are being watched, we are being judged, we are being evaluated every minute. So we have to be very, very aware as to how we are conducting ourselves. When you come to your college life, practical knowledge or practical working is just about 25%. But when you get out into the big corporate world, the practical work is 100% because there is no theory existing there. There is no textbook existing there. There is no library existing there, because everything is practical. What you have learned has to be put to use there. You cannot say that, okay, this is out of syllabus. As a student, while writing your exam, if you find that that particular question which is there is not there in your textbook, you can always say this is an out of syllabus question. But in your practical life, as a person, as a professional, you can never say this is something out of syllabus, because your world out there is the biggest textbook you have. That is the biggest dictionary you have. You will have to search out for your answers. Answers don't come to you on a platter. Now, the most important part, as a student, it is up to you that you affect yourself or you don't affect others, you learn or you don't learn. But then, as a professional, you are highly interlinked, which means that you are connected to people, you are working in teams, and you cannot perform as an individual. You have to take around all the people who are with you and move forward as a team. I have just put 5 to 6 important points on what we need to focus as individuals when we are in the corporate world. Not only just as students, but also as professionals, as team players, as employees, as employers also. The first and foremost thing is communication and conversation styles. I will delve into each one of them in detail. The second is time management. Third is professional conduct, digital etiquette, dealing with your colleagues, and etiquette and rules of the behavior. Now, when you come to communication and conversation styles, what is communication? Is just talking communication? No, my dear friends. We say talking is communication, but no. When you talk, you are the source, but there is also somebody who's listening to you, right? You are the source and he is the destination. So whatever you have talked or what you have spoken, if it makes sense to the person who's listening to you, who is the end receiver rather than destination, I would say is the receiver. If you are the source and the receiver, there is some amount of conversation happening, and this conversation has a meaning, and whatever you are trying to talk is being conveyed to your listener, then you have made a purposeful communication. You have made a meaningful communication. And a communication is made to create a personal connection between people. Unless otherwise, what you talk makes sense to the other person, they will not bond with you. You will just say, oh, come on, he's just talking nonsense. It makes no sense to me. So, what you talk, the sole aim of talking should be to create a connection with people, to make an impression, to captivate your audience. Now I'm speaking to you. If I'm speaking to you, what I speak should be actually making sense to you. Am I making sense to you? Can I get a few answers on the chat box, please? Am I really making sense to you while I'm talking to you? Yes or no? So I need to make sense because I have a point today to deliver. I have something to share with you all. I have something to tell you all what I have experienced. What I am talking to you today is not out of some textbook. I am just trying to tell you what I have experienced as a person, as a professional for the last 20 years in my profession. Now, communication is not limited to just communication. There is something called effective communication too. How effective I am in conveying my message to the other people. Am I clear? I'll give you a simple example. Sometimes it so happens that you are sitting in a group of people and somebody is talking to you. That person is talking, but it looks as though they are not conveying anything to you. It is just that they are talking what they want to talk, but it is not making any sense to you. Then what is the point? There is no effective communication happening. This is not a two-way process that's happening. It is just a one-way communication. The person who's talking is just talking. But has it created an impact, or has the message been conveyed to you as to what the person is trying to talk to you? The same with the faculty also. Sometimes, we understand what the faculty says very well, because what they're trying to tell us is conveyed very, very clear to us, because there is a lot of clarity in what they're talking. There is no ambiguity. There is no confusion. In the same way, when you talk or when you attend an interview or when you meet a person, there should be a lot of clarity in what you want to convey. You cannot be confused yourself and convey the opposite person. And when there is clarity and less of ambiguity, it is called as an effective communication. You need to put your thoughts in a very, very structured manner when you're speaking to people. You cannot be confused. You cannot say, okay, I'm okay with this, I'm not okay with this. Not working. Either you've got to be okay with the matter or you've got to be not okay with the matter. So this has to be very, very clear in your mind before you start communicating. Otherwise, instead of having an effective communication, you would have created lots of confusion, and in the process, you would have lost connect with the person. Successful communication, how is it created? That is what I told you. When both the sender and the receiver have the same understanding. These days you hear this term, okay, are you on the same page as me? Which means what? That is, whatever I am talking should be understood by you in the same way in what I am thinking. I'll give a small example, which is, like maybe me. I talk about my own self now. I'm an architect. So when I make a plan for a person, when I draw their house plan or I'm doing up their interiors, they would have given me certain inputs. They would say, okay, I like my house like this. I like my room like this. I want my entrance like this. Suppose I do not understand what they have told me and I do something which is totally in contrast of what they are expecting out of me. That means there is no successful communication. Either they have not communicated properly to me or I have not received it properly. That means what they say, I have to properly understand. I have to listen carefully. I think the line Nagaraju was telling, listening skills. You need to listen carefully what the opposite person is trying to convey to you. Do not jump into a conclusion even before you listen what the opposite person is trying to tell. Please listen carefully, understand it properly, and then try and work on the communication which has come in front of you. Otherwise, there will be a lot of misunderstanding that can be created. Now, there are different type of communication styles. Open people, directly fast-paced, indirectly fast-paced. I'll make it very simple for you. See, there are two types of communication largely. One is a verbal communication and the other is a non-verbal communication. What is it that is about a verbal communication? What I'm talking, when I'm talking to you in terms of sentences, when I'm talking to you in terms of words, or I'm writing a note and sending it to you, it is a verbal or written communication where my thoughts or your thoughts are put into words and they are spelled out clearly. So here what happens, I'll tell you. When I have put an arrow, when I say open conversation, there it is people oriented. Why it is people oriented? Okay, because these people are the ones who socialize, who talk what they feel, right? And they talk in real life situations. Some of them are very direct, right? They do not mince the words. They openly tell you what they're thinking. Some of them are direct talk. It could be an order or it could be a written note that, yes, this is what you're supposed to do. This is a direction given to you. Some could be a thought-provoking conversation too. Now, whenever you're listening, you're in a workshop. What happens? It is kind of supposed to be a thought-provoking kind of a conversation for you, wherein you are supposed to listen to the person who's talking to you, try and understand what is being communicated to you, what is being talked about to you, or why it is being talked about. So different people have different kind of communication, and every person is unique in the way they communicate. Probably the way I communicate is different from the way you communicate, but all of us have to follow certain norms when we communicate. When you're with your friends, you can talk whatever you want. Whatever is in your mind, you can just talk. You can use the most informal language. But my dear friends, when you are in a group, when you are in a gathering, or when you are in a formal gathering, when you are in office, you cannot afford to use the language whichever you want. You have got to be very, very formal. You have to use the right words to create the right impact. If you want people to understand what you're trying to communicate, you will have to be very, very precise. You will have to be very, very accurate with your words. You cannot have two contrasting statements at the same time. So be very specific as to what you are thinking, what you exactly want to tell, and keep your conversations guarded. Why I say guarded? Please be aware of what you're talking. Suppose you are supposed to give a presentation today to a person or to your boss or to a group of people or to a team. Please try and make a mental rerun of what you're going to speak, which means that play it in your mind that yes, this is what I am going to speak. You cannot afford to go there and falter. You cannot start stammering. You cannot talk again and again, because see, this is once in a lifetime opportunity. So write down few important points. If it is a presentation, yes, these are my points. These are my direction angles in which I am going to speak. This is how I am going to start. This is how I am going to end. So please be guarded. Keep your conversation very, very crisp, very, very to the point. Do not try and bring in information which is irrelevant to the subject, which is not connected with the subject. You need to stay with your subject. You need to be very, very precise. You need to talk to the point. You cannot talk something which is not up to the mark. So you need to have very, very guarded conversations, because again, as I told you, my dear friends, people keep judging you. One wrong sentence and you can land yourself in a mess. So always be aware of what you're speaking. Sometimes even with your friends, what happens? See, you must be saying something out of fun, but whether the opposite person is taking it in the same way or not in the same way is not in your hands. So you need to ensure that the tone in which you're putting it should seem like it is for fun. Otherwise, there is every possibility that you will definitely misunderstand what is being conveyed to you. Okay, the most important point. We all have conversations at work, whether we are students or whether we are professionals, whether we are faculty, or we are just two people working in different spheres of life. I put it under 5 P's. You need to prepare, practice, present, persist, and prevail. Now, why do I say that you need to do all this conversations at work? Because the conversations at work will always be difficult. They are not going to be easy. People, though they are your colleagues, they are not your friends all the time. Everyone is not your well-wisher. And upon that, you, when you are in a position of a responsibility, you are in a position where you are answerable to people, where you are to lead, or where you are a subordinate, or you are to perform. It is very, very important that your conversations are very, very structured. And earlier also I told you that you need to prepare in your mind. This is a 5 stage process. The first one being prepare. Whatever is your objective. Suppose today I have to give a presentation on, say, communication. What? My objective is to deliver a talk on communication. So what is my objective is to deliver. Now, what is the strategy I'm employing? Whether I'm using a PPT or whether I have a story to tell, whether I have a music video, whatever it is, I need to prepare myself properly for this kind of a conversation, right? Then the next point will be to practice. How will you practice? You need to keep on rehearsing your talking points beforehand. If see, sometimes you notice that you know all the subject, but you're very nervous. You're sweating. Suddenly you find a lump in your throat. You are just mincing your hands. Why does that happen? Because you have not rehearsed enough to present yourself. You have not practiced enough. See, when in school also, what we used to do, if we had a drama or a dance, we used to rehearse, we used to practice, and then give our final presentation. So this is also like that. You need to keep on practicing. Unless otherwise you practice, you will not achieve perfection. Okay, I'll just take 1 minute of a break if you allow me. Just a minute of break, please.
Sure, ma'am. Hope the session is very interesting, students. Do you have any questions? You can post it in the chat box, and Nagaraju sir is available. He's ready to respond to you, students. I also request all the students to go to YouTube link and find the survey form. To fill the survey form, I request you all to fill the survey form. So you will get.
Yeah, I'm really sorry for the break.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, somebody put it on the chat box that I'm not audible. Am I audible now?
You are audible, ma'am. You are audible.
Okay. So we need to rehearse or practice what we are supposed to be doing. Now, when you're practicing, I was telling you how you get nervous. You start sweating or you mince words. The best thing is we all have long mirrors at home. So what do? Go and stand in front of the mirror and start talking. When you start talking in front of the mirror, the biggest advantage is you know that the opposite person is not going to react. A mirror does not react because you are the only person who's talking. That is the best way to practice. And when you start talking in front of a mirror, you also understand how your facial expressions are, what is the language you're using, whether if you're nervous and your face shows a nervousness, the mirror will tell you that, hey, you're nervous. It will not speak in terms of words, but your own reflection will tell you that you look nervous. You're confident. Your own reflection tells you that you are confident. So this is a very, very important technique that you employ to build your confidence while rehearsing so that your final presentation goes very, very well. Keep on talking in front of the mirror. That will help you, build your confidence. I remember there was a very nice movie, Amar Akbar Antony, where Amitabh Bachchan was playing the part of Antony. You need to really watch that clip. You know, when Amitabh Bachchan starts talking in a mirror, that is where it shows you that when you talk to a mirror, the mirror does not respond back to you, but your reflection starts talking back to you. Your reflection tells you, come on, you look so damn bad, or you look so damn good. So that is the best way to practice. The third, now when you prepare and practice very well, the next step would be to present. How will you present yourself? You have to present yourself in a very, very constructive manner, in a very, very systematic manner, point by point. Do not try and jump your points. Please structure them, put them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is how it goes. Okay, the first is the introduction. Then you go into the important salient features. What is the salient features? What are your objectives? What is it that you want to present for today? And what the third point will be, what are the methods you are employing to present your particular point today? Which means what are the kind of arguments, or what are the kind of cases, or what is the kind of case study you want to present. So you need to make this in a very, very constructive manner. Now, out of our 5 stages in our conversation at work, we finished 3. What did we do? We prepared, we practiced, we also started our presentation. Now, while you are going ahead with your presentation, do you think people will just keep quiet just because you are here to present? You think people will just listen to you and nod their heads and will go by every point that you say? Not necessary. Everybody doesn't agree to everybody. Everybody also does not disagree with everybody. But people have their own doubts. People want to question you. People want to ask why you are talking about it in such a way. Now, you need to persist. Now, what do we mean by persist? When we say persist, it means whatever objective you have for your presentation or whatever objective you have for that day, you need to promote it, you need to defend it, you need to stand by your argument. That means you need to be super confident on what you are talking about. You cannot have self doubts. You need to know how you are going to prove that what you are presenting is the best of your knowledge and how much of self belief you have in that theory that you are presenting. So, when you prepare well, when you practice well, and when you are presenting, you also need to persist. That means you also need to stand by what you are talking, and that means that you need to have done a very good amount of research on what you are speaking. You have to speak facts. You cannot try. See, most of the time, what happens, most of the speakers I've seen, they give a long amount of data. Now, when you start speaking about data, you cannot give wrong information because it is all available across for the world to see. So, it is always good that if you are employing some data in your presentation, if you are trying to give some statistics in your presentation, please ensure that it is correct. It cannot have any error. But your thoughts can be presented originally the way you want because there is no data connected to it. But when you're presenting your thoughts, you also should know how you are going to defend your thoughts, how you are going to present to the people that what you are thinking is in the right direction and how it is going to yield constructive results, which means it will yield good results or positive results. Now, we have finished the 4 stages of our presentation, and the last one is prevail. What do you mean by prevail? Prevail in simple normal self means that you need to be there. You need to reach a time where everybody is with you on the same page and you have a win-win kind of a situation. That is, even if you have a few people who disagree with you in the room, you have more number of people who agree with you, and hence it is a win-win situation for you as a person who is having that conversation at work, so that nobody vetoes you at work and nobody says that you did a bad job. So it is always important, my dear friends, that you remember these 5 P's, which is prepare, practice, present, persist, and prevail when you have a conversation at work. Conversation at work need not be just talking. It could be your presentation, it could be your project reports, it could be how you report to your superior, how you deal with certain situations where you need to negotiate. So all these aspects are very, very important when you are going as an employee or you are working as a professional, or future when if at all you become great leaders also. This is the kind of a structure of a conversation that will always be there in our lives. Now, when we come to the next part of it, most of the business etiquette, when you look at, I have divided this into a pie diagram. What is it? I was talking about verbal and non-verbal communication. Now, communication is verbal, but non-verbal communication conveys more about a person than the verbal communication. So you see, 55% contributes to your communication through body language. Your tone matters 38%, and your actual words matter only 7%. This is a very funny equation. See what happens. Why we say 55% of communication happens through body language? When you're talking, your hands keep moving, your eyes keep moving, you keep nodding your head, you stand in a certain position, you sit in a certain position. Now, all these gestures convey a certain amount of communication which your body is giving out. If I'm slouched in a chair, it means I'm not serious about my work. Or it could be that I'm relaxing also after a day's work. But slouching at work means I am disinterested. I am not concentrating. I'll give you a classic example here. It is a very, very useful psychological observation. Whenever we are maybe watching a movie or listening to somebody, or we are in a class or in a meeting, there is a table in front of us. Say, when you listen, when somebody is speaking and it is mighty interesting, you know what you do? You lean in front, put your hands on the table, and start listening because you have a lot of interest. But slowly, if at all you find the person boring, whoever is speaking, what you will do is you will start slowly moving back and rest your back to the back of the chair or your table or whatever. That means this is an indication that you are no more interested in the presentation or conversation that is happening. So see how your body language is able to communicate and tell the opposite person that I am no more interested in your talk. The same way, you can observe this even in your own presentations if you're making. When people are interested, they sit upright, their backs are straight, they lean forward and keep listening to you. But the moment your presentation loses the momentum, the moment your presentation loses the value, you find that the people listening to you are slowly slouching back and they are losing interest in what you're talking. And it also so happens in some meetings that people start talking amongst themselves. It happens. I'll tell you. It is not that people are not interested. It also happens because sometimes they are not connected with the subject. But you have to see that people are held together with your communication. So, how do you do? Your body language has to be very, very confident. When you stand, please stand straight with your back at 90 degrees. Please do not keep constantly moving, because the more constantly you move, the more you distract the attention of the person. So rather than the person looking at your face, unknowingly or knowingly, we will start observing your leg movements. And believe me, my dear friends, the first thing that a person notices is not your dress, not your face, but the kind of shoes that you wear, whether it is a woman or a man. The first thing that is observed is what kind of shoes you wear and the way you stand. Because the way you stand communicates a whole lot of things about you. So it is always very important that you wear comfortable shoes, comfortable pair of slippers or wedges or slip-ons. Please do not wear bathroom slippers to work. Please do not wear open-ended chappals to work. Please wear closed wedges if it's women. Properly wear shoes if it is men, because that is the norm of a business etiquette. And this communicates a lot about you. If you wear unpolished shoes, that shows that you do not care for your appearance. So that means you are not aesthetically inclined. So see, something like a shoe can convey so much about you. So body language is very, very important. Then sometimes when people are talking, you see, their hands keep moving in the air as though they are hitting a mosquito in the air. So your hands cannot go and start hunting mosquitoes in the air, because your hands should be well below your shoulders. They can't go much above your shoulders. That is another important part of the body language which you should remember while you're communicating. I will not go much deeper into this because this is a very whole big subject, and further on we will have some more points to discuss. When it comes to the tone, the kind of tone you employ when you talk to people is very, very important. See, how I talk can convey my irritation, how I talk can convey my appreciation, how I talk can also show whether I'm annoyed, whether I'm angry with you, or I'm happy with you. So please be aware of the kind of tone that you employ while talking. See, this is a very, very spontaneous reaction from the brain. You might say, how can I control my tone? Yes, when you're irritated and somebody is really irritating you immediately react in a very violent way, because your brain sends out reflexes that this is annoying you and you want to put an end to it, so that violent reaction comes out. But the trick is to keep your reflexes calm. You cannot react, rather overreact to certain situations. Now I'll tell you how it happens. Suppose you've done a great job, and yes, yet your boss is shouting at you. You know, at the bottom of your heart, you just want to go and strangle their neck there, or you just want to give them a tight slap. But can you do it? Not possible. The only thing is, what you do, you try and keep calm, but it still you start grinding your teeth. You are literally shivering at the bottom of your coat. But please, when you answer, do not show that on the communication. Please try and keep it calm, because otherwise you will be taken in the wrong sense. So now I think you understand that body language and tone or attitude play a major role in a communication. What words you choose will actually depend on both of these, because if your tone is not right, even if you put the right words, all those words will be misunderstood. So the major important part is, please watch your body language. Please try and see that you control your body language very well and convey a very positive vibe about you. Now, when you come to body language, what are the important aspects? I have already discussed. First and foremost thing, I always tell, see, every morning when we have a bath and we get ready to go to office, or we get ready to go to work, or we get ready to go to college, what do? We are in front of the mirror. So we try and put our best creams, or moisturizers or sunscreens. But along with that, there is one vital thing which is also there at your dressing table, which you need to keep every day. That is your smile. Please keep that curve with your dressing table, so that the way you put your makeup, the way you wear your perfume, please pick up that smile of yours and put it on your lips, so that you look really great and it makes your day. And I'll tell you, this is the best of the facial expressions. When you're smiling, even if you're crying at the bottom of my heart, nobody knows, because you're smiling. The world only sees what you show them. The world cannot see what you do not want to show. So what you want to show becomes important. So you want to smile or you want to sulk is in your hands, my dear friends. So always keep that smile. Pick it up from your dressing table while you go. Don't leave it there. Please put it on and then begin your day. Then don't look nervous. That's very important. And many which ways, when you put a nice smile, never be nervous. Why should you be nervous? There is no lion going to eat you there. After all, it is one more human being, probably in a superior situation than you, but they are not going to eat you away. So don't be nervous, right? Have some self belief, have some confidence in yourself. Then sit straight. This is what I was telling you. Please sit with your back upright. Now, when I'm talking to you, I'm not leaning towards the chair, because the moment I lean, I know I can't see you all, you can't see me, and I will actually maybe doze off. So I need to be attentive. So if I have to be attentive, I need to stand or sit with my shrugged shoulders, which means that the shoulders are also to be in line at 180 degrees, 90 on either side, a straight line. Then acknowledgement. See, I put as nods and mirror expressions. Acknowledgement is whenever somebody is talking to you, you know, please try and don't nod your head from end to end, right from east to west. Give a slight nod and say yes. If you're not in a position to say yes, okay, say a slight, give a small nod and say yes. That is why do we say mirror expressions? In your mirror, you cannot give horrid expressions, right? Otherwise, your mirror will come back to you and look like can somebody please mute their mic? Yeah. Then uncross your arms and legs. Please do not keep crossing your arms or legs. Please sit straight. Do not keep your hands and legs moving when people are talking to you, because that conveys a very, very bad impression on the people who are looking at you. And last but not the least, please look calm and approachable. Now you must be wondering why I put Harvey Specter there. All thanks to the lockdown, though I'm not a movie buff, I've suddenly got exposed to Netflix and I'm watching so many series. And one of them that really I liked was a series called Suits. So the man called Harvey Specter, this is a man who's a lawyer, and even if he is in a crisis, he is in the middle, as though the world is coming down upon him. Still, you will find him very calm and approachable. Still, you will find him smiling. So I thought we also need to be like that. So definitely, we feel the world is falling down, but then the world is never falling down because the world has different things to do. Next, your physical appearance. How does it appear? How do you appear? Of course, you need to dress appropriately. Please don't try and wear your party clothes to your office. Please wear formal dresses. Try and see that you wear only iron clothes. Do not wear wrinkled clothes to work. Try and wear subtle colors, not very loud colors. Please, keep your attire very business-like. Keep your hands and feet properly manicured, pedicured, or keep your nails trimmed, whatever. That doesn't mean I'm saying go to the parlor every time. All I'm saying is please be well groomed, please be presentable. You cannot have dirt in your nails and you show your hands to people. Please see that you have properly trimmed nails, you're properly groomed, your hair is properly set, it is not flying in all directions. Have a fresh breath. Try and use a mouth freshener before you go for a meeting. Do not go with a bad breath because that puts off people. We ourselves will be put off when we have a person having a bad breath. So please avoid it. And do not wear a very, very strong perfume. Try to wear a minimal perfume or a cologne, which is very, very refreshing. It should not be overbearing on the people. And because I said, again, I will go back to my first statement. You always remember that the first impression is the best impression. The first impression that you give to people when you walk into the room will be the last impression that you would have created on them. Because if you create a wrong impression the first time, whatever you do, how much ever you try, you will never be able to better this impression at all. So please be careful how you create this first impression. Again, the first impression being created, how do you create? Not only your dress, there are other aspects also which are important when you create the first impression. How you greet people. The moment you enter a hall, you put a sullen face and go and occupy a chair. No, not done. You need to go and greet people with a smile, say hi, hello, or wish them, say good morning, good afternoon, whatever. Even if you don't know the person, why not make an effort? Go and say hello to them so that you would have struck a intro with people and you have started communicating with the people. Your introduction, don't go and say I'm so and so, my education qualification is so and so, I'm from so and so college. No, make people curious about who you are. You can say, oh, okay, I'm so and so, I've come here for so and so purpose, I'm in this meeting because I like the subject. So try and see that you create that curiosity amongst people and you leave a good impression about yourself. Don't try and say I'm an MBA and I'm so and so and I'm a PhD. Nobody is bothered about our degrees, my dear friends. Once you enter the corporate world, all that matters is the kind of impression you're going to create as a person, because you are the brand you are going to project. You are the person you are going to project as to what you are. And always wear the name tag on your shoulder or the tag what you're given. Please wear it properly. See that the front is in front so that people can see your picture and read your name very well. Because sometimes people hesitate to ask your name or talk to you. They can just see the name tag and start talking to you. In the other way around, when you see the name tag, always try and see if you can address the person with their name. Instead of saying, hey, how are you? When you say, hey, with the name and say, how are you? People are mighty impressed and you will be very happy when an unknown person calls you by name. It gives a great pleasure. And always have eye contact when you talk and when you listen, because this is very, very important. That doesn't mean that you'll start staring into the eyes of the people. Please do not stare, but at the same time have an eye contact, a very, very pleasant eye contact. Do not intimidate people which means that do not look into the eye of the person in such a way that they get afraid. Make them feel good about it. So please maintain a pleasant eye contact. Coming to the most crucial point at work will be dealing with your colleagues. This is something which all of us have to do as professionals, as faculty, as students, or whatever, as future professionals. There are three important elements when you deal with your colleagues. One is the element of relationship. Next is establishing positive relationship. And the third is conversations at work. Now you must be wondering why I have put this in a triangle. So when you look at the triangle, the base of the triangle is very important. So your conversations at work are very, very important to build the triangle of relationship. The conversation of work, I already gave you 5 important P's how you need to build a conversation at work. So once you build good conversation at work, you will establish positive relationships. And when you have positive relationships, there is always an important element of relationship where you connect with people one on one and they appreciate being with you. Now, the elements of relationship, what are they? First one being self-respect. Next is mutual respect. How can you have mutual respect for each other? How can you have compassion? When you mean compassion, how will you have empathy? How will you understand the opposite person's difficulty? It do not sympathize with them. Don't say ayo papam. What they need is how you empathize with them. Try and understand what they are going through rather than saying, oh, are you going through this? That is very important. Cooperate with people. You need to be very, very cooperative with people and always have commitment. When you commit certain things to people, you need to keep up your commitment. How do you establish positive relationships? Positive relationships can be established with communication styles. Okay, I told you the verbal communication style and the non-verbal communication. Then learning styles. How do you learn? When somebody is talking to you, please try and listen. Please try and give an ear to them. Please try and give your concentration to them. Boundaries. My dear friends, we always need to know our boundaries. You cannot overstep your boundaries. Do not take everything for granted. So try and be aware that this is my boundary and I am not supposed to speak something beyond this which will hurt the person. Otherwise, your relationship would be ruined. Differing values. I said we all agree to disagree. So we all will have different values. What is a value to me may not be a value to you. But still, we need to respect each other's values because, again, not only two people, your company may have a different value, you may have a different value, but both these values combined together have to create a asset for the place where you work. Then the company culture. Every company has a culture to follow, and once you enter the place of work, you need to follow this culture because it is very, very important. When I say culture of the company, a country, because yes, now suppose you are working with US companies and we are Indians, we have a different culture, and the US companies have a different culture to follow. But still, we need to bridge these two cultures and yet strike a via media and start working. Now, when it comes to family culture, your culture in the you come from different backgrounds, you come from different cultural backgrounds, you come from different upbringing, you come from different environments, but still we have to keep up our culture in such a way that you keep your culture intact yet do not hurt the opposite person with their culture. You respect every culture, you respect their traditions, you respect, because see, India is a country with different traditions, different cultures, different mindset, but still we need to coexist with each other because we are in an ecosystem. It is as simple as this, my dear friends. Your hand has 5 fingers, each of different shape and style, each of different thickness, each of different length, but still we are bound together in one single hand, and that is how you need to be always, which means that you need to keep your integrity in place. Now, when it comes to body language, we also have this handshake, which is very, very important. Most of us, when we shake our hand, some people, they just loosely shake their hands, which shows that they are nervous. No, your handshake has to be very, very firm, and it should not last more than 2 to 3 seconds. You cannot hold the hand of the opposite person for eternity just because you like their hand, which is very soft. Don't start pressing their hands. Okay, please keep your hands very clean. And if you're wearing rings, please try and see that your hand is not pressing the opposite person's hand very badly. And always be the first one to extend your hand for a handshake. Do not wait for the opposite person to extend the hand, because that means it shows that you are unwelcome. When you extend a handshake for the opposite person, it shows that you are a welcome person, and it is a very, very positive gesture. This is how you can create a relationship between people in a non-verbal way without even saying that, hey, let's be friends. A handshake can still start making you friends. Your professional image. How do you create your professional image? You are the inner compass. You are the person at the center. So, what are the different things that you need to look at yourself when you have to create your professional image or how you want yourself to be identified? First, as I said, please promote yourself as a brand. Your personal brand matters a lot. You need to be a brand. Say, suppose today somebody says Chetana. Okay, Chetana is good at what? Chetana is good at this. This is how. Say, I'm a good architect. Yes, people should say, yes, Chetana, oh, the architect. So that is the kind of brand I need to create. Productivity, how I will be productive, how I will be able to work in a very, very positive manner and deliver more amount of result in less amount of time. That means I don't waste time and I do more of core work and I'm productive in that. See, I have put this in 4 categories. How do you put your professional images? What is the kind of core work you do? How is the relationship you maintain with people? What is the kind of energy you generate? And what are the multipliers of all these three? So, the first, when you come to core work, it is your personal brand. What is the kind of productivity you deliver? When it comes to relationships, what are the kind of skills you have? What is the kind of competence you have? Then, when you have all these three, how are the work relationships? Suppose I am there. What is the relationship I have with my employees? What is the relationship I have with my engineers? How am I working out with my staff? That matters a lot. Next, how I network with people, how I build connections with people. That also forms a very important part. Now, when it comes to energy, my emotional well being contributes to my energy. That means I have to be very healthy emotionally and physically so that I exude energy in such a way that I keep my team also motivated. I need to keep people motivated. You, as an employee, also should keep your team motivated. The moment you walk into an environment, people should feel that, okay, yes, you are there, so everything will go great. So, what are multipliers? When you have your core work in place, you are competent enough, your productivity is great, you can forge very good relationship at work, you have a great network, and you are very positive person, then you get lot and lot of work, and that keeps on multiplying. Work need not be only work, you get a lot of appreciations, people want to work with you, people want to be on your team, people want to have you along with you. So this is a multiplier. Rajitha ma'am, how much time do I have? Okay.
Ma'am,
Hearing,
you can take 5 more minutes. That's not a big deal.
just 5 more minutes?
Yes, ma'am. You can take 5 more minutes. Do you want to extend your presentation
Just
more
10
than
more
10?
minutes because I have the last few etiquette that I want to tell. I see people leaving because actually this is a very crucial point, but then probably this looks very
We
dry.
will connect to them and ask them to speak
Yeah,
on
I
behalf.
cannot
So,
narrate stories on this part of it, but then let's go,
no,
get
no, it's
going.
really interesting. We are enjoying. I'll just
Yeah.
pull them back.
So, what happens again when we come back to hearing communication? We said we need to have a very good core competency, we need to have relationship building, we need to have emotional well-being, and also we need to have multipliers in our professional life. But one key important point is when you communicate, hearing versus listening. There is a rule, where 80% of listening will contribute to 20% of action, which means that when you talk to a person, 80% of the time, please listen, understand what the speaker is trying to tell you, and then 20% you reply and react or be proactive. For doing this, you need to keep a very open mind when the speaker is talking to you. Listen twice as much as you speak. Please do not interfere when somebody is talking to you. If it when I say a speaker, it means when your boss is talking to you, Try and listen to them. Do not try and interrupt. Please understand what they are trying to tell you. At the same time, do not jump to conclusions until the speaker has finished. Stay away from assumptions. Here, I just want to ask you, how many of you can patiently listen? Please put it in the chat box. Let me see how many of you can How many of you can listen to a conversation patiently? Can you please put it up on the chat box? Let me see how many of us can patiently listen to a conversation. I see a few people who say yes, we can listen. This is very, very important because unless you patiently hear to what the opposite person is saying, you will not be able to understand. So when it comes to hearing versus listening, hearing is just listening and forgetting. But when it say listening, it means you're trying to understand what the opposite person is saying and trying to implement it. Okay. Now, when we have our business, when you go into your world, you need to take calls. You have a telephone etiquette. You have a digital etiquette. You have a dining etiquette because you have to go to meetings. You also have to dine with people. You will have to talk over the phones to people because every meeting cannot be in person. So before that, we talk over the phone. Now, see, all thanks to COVID, we are all talking digitally. So when you talk, telephone, please, when you talk to them, have a greeting, have a very friendly tone. I'm actually rushing through this because I think most of us know this. But then there are three magical words which you should always say. One is if something is wrong, please say sorry. Please ask. When you're asking, always try and put the prefix please and end it with thank you. A thank you goes a long way, my dear friends. It's very, very important that you should have this gratitude. It is not just about saying thank you. You need to have gratitude when you say thank you. Then you have your digital etiquette at place. You have mobile devices, you have professional networking sites, you have phones, you have web conferencing, your social networking sites, email. Now, why I put up digital etiquette here? Most of them, even in my place of work, I see when you're working, half your concentration is on your social networking sites. Half the time, people are on their mobiles. My dear friends, we are not there to spend our time on mobiles or social networking sites. We are there to work. So we need to give our 100% to our work. We need to focus on what we are supposed to do and what we are supposed to deliver, which means that you need to have a particular control on when and how you're going to use your digital etiquette or your media. Please try and concentrate on your work rather than spending away your time on time wasters. Please utilize your time properly. Email etiquette, yes. Please write proper emails. Have the right greetings. Do not say dear, hi, hello. Please say greetings of the day. Hello, sir. Good morning. How do you do? The subject line, what you write, has to be very, very short. It cannot be a long story. How you write, should always be positive. Most of us start our talk like this. As I am not well today, I am not attending office. What a negative way of writing. Instead of that, you can write, I am unable to attend office today since I'm not well. So at least the person who's reading is happy to read a positive note. Do not put any negative references. Do not put your so-called favorite emoticons and short forms there because instead of writing YOU, just like you chat on your phone, please don't write you because a business communication does not go like that. You need to write full sentences. The body of the mail has to be very, very to the point. Write the correct spellings, use the proper grammar, use the right punctuation, which is very, very important. And when you reply to your mails, please reply to your mail within the stipulated time. Now, today you have got a mail, don't sit back and reply tomorrow. You please see what is the timeline that you are supposed to reply and reply it back. Business meeting etiquette, always be punctual to your meetings. Beforehand, understand the agenda of the meeting and prepare for it. If you are late, please knock on the door before entering. Do not just barge in. Be attentive throughout the meeting. And most importantly, please keep your cell phones either switched off or mute. Even during your classes, most of the children, you are very busy under the table, happily chatting away, and poor faculty of yours, she's shouting, but you are not attentive. That is not going to work, because when you go into your business world, that is now not how it goes. You'll have to be very, very attentive, because anybody can throw a question at you anytime. And dining etiquette, this is very, very important, my dear friends. At home, at college, you can eat whatever way you want, you can do whatever you want. But when you are in a business meeting, or at a business lunch, you will have to be very, very conscious on how you are going to conduct yourself. You must be dying to eat, you must be hungry. But please wait for the host. Don't start eating even before the host starts. Do not talk with food in your mouth. Please hold your spoon and fork in the right way. If you're not comfortable having spoon and fork together, use only one, either the spoon or the fork. Please do not soil your entire hand while eating, and do not make that noise while you're eating. Please keep your mouth closed while you're chewing. Do not give out that sound. It creates a very, very bad impression. And most of us do this, while we are eating, we put our elbows or arms on the table. You're not supposed to do that. Please do not do that, because it is going, because one thing is your arms and elbows will hit the person sitting next to you, and it also gives a very wrong impression that you are falling all over your food. So please do not do it. Suppose your dish is far away on the table, do not get up in between, or do not lean forward and try and get the dish. You can always ask somebody to pass it on to you. These are very, very important dining etiquette, my dear friends. Do not think that this is something, I'm just telling you because it is something which you all know. We all know lot many things, but at times we need somebody to tell us that we need to follow them. And do not keep, sometimes food gets stuck between our teeth. Do not start picking it right then and there. Excuse yourself, please use a toothpick and get it out, and do not do it in front of people, because it looks very, very unput. It looks very bad. Of course, these are the table etiquette. I'll be sharing this PPT so you can see how you need to put your spoons, your forks, your knives. Of course, in Indian kind of context, we don't use the knives a lot, but you can still understand how it is. There is also a non-verbal communication when you use your phone and fork and spoon to convey how your meal was, whether it was good, whether it was bad, or whether you are done, or whether you can ask stop the steward from serving you. Mobile devices, of course, you know how to use your mobile devices. I don't have to speak much about these. Basically, please do not use your mobiles in meetings. Turn them off or put them on silent mode. Text very selectively. Do not try and put it on loudspeakers, and do not try and disturb others, because if you are using your phone, it is going to disturb the decorum of the workspace. Now, this is last but not the least. You will have to, everything in this world comes from observation. At the beginning, I told you necessity is the mother of invention. So the more you observe your meetings, the more you observe your workplace, the more you observe your team, the more you observe your boss, you will start learning a lot of things. So when you start learning about a lot of things, there are 5 important points which you need to remember always. These are the activities which keep happening in and around you, and you can learn from these activities. First one is open and closed ended questions. Please understand what is the right question to ask and what is the wrong question to ask. Okay, do not ask closed ended questions, because closed ended questions might put the opposite person in a fix. So do not Ask just because you want to trouble somebody, ask the right questions and be creative when you ask. That is the first point. Next, group discussion. When you're in a group discussion, please observe what people are talking more than you talking. Please listen, please understand, comprehend what they're trying to tell you, because that will help you to prepare for more number of things to come, and it will help you understand how you are going to take the subject further or how you're going to work with your team. Now, when I say mime, we all know what is mime. Mime is what? When people perform but they do not speak, and you understand the whole play with the help of actions. So this is also one important thing. When we say mime, it is understand the body language and facial expression. Words need not be necessary to communicate. At the same time, when you're trying to understand the body language, you also please give out a very positive body language. Keep your body language very, very appropriate. Please do not give any iota of doubt for somebody to misinterpret your body language for something else. Next, I say Chinese whisper. You know what is Chinese whisper? Very Chinese people, they talk very, very slowly. Even if I'm sitting next to them, I can't understand what they are speaking. So when we say Chinese whisper, you improve your listening skills. That is, even if there is a shortest of sound or a smallest of sentence spoken, please try and concentrate, listen to it, understand it. Do not hear it, but listen to it. And last but not the least is building a rocket for the client, which means you should have proper teamwork with you. You are one of the most important team players so that you have a satisfied client at the end of the day, or you have a satisfied boss at the end of the day, and you are a very good team player. You know how to conduct yourself, and you are ready to take the corporate world head on. Finally, my dear friends, I would only say, see, every workplace is not great. Every workplace is not bad. Big boy, big bad corporate world, what you're facing today is not just bad. It is good too. It is not a wolf nor a lion. How you adapt yourself, how you empathize, how you use your resources, how you present your skills. That is all that is going to matter in getting you success in your particular corporate life. your your team building skills, you as a team player, how good you can put yourself in somebody else's shoes, how quickly you can forgive people, and how is the best attitude you have, how confident you are, how much of self belief you have in what you're trying to do will matter a lot. So there is a very famous saying by Terence Howard. He says, every one of us an artist. Every one of us is an artist. As an artist, you really can stroll into any venue that you want. See, when you are, if every one of us is an artist, every one of us can create an art what we want. Your art can be the work that you do, the etiquette that you show, the way you groom yourself, the way you present yourself, the way you talk to people, the way you work. So you are the artist of your own future. So create a beautiful art, make the best out of your life, make yourself presentable, make the best impression for everybody around you. And please remember, you are the person who has to create a brand for you. Unless otherwise you think yourself as a brand, you are not going to respect yourself. So respect yourself first, build yourself as a brand, and promote yourself as the most dependable brand in the corporate world so that people keep on wanting you more and more. Thank you so much. Thank you, Rajitha Garu, for this opportunity.
Thank
It
you
was
so
really
much,
great
ma'am.
being with all of you.
It's really great to be with you and Nagaraju sir. I have no words for your presentation, ma'am, sincerely speaking. Every slide made me like, wow. It blew my mind off, and it's fantastic, ma'am. I don't know how many days you have been working hard to get the content. I have never seen on any YouTube channel or slide share to find such a good valid content from you and Nagaraju sir. Your PPTs are really on the market, demand on the market. Fantastic.
Yeah, any questions? I can always take it, Rajita Garu, and I will be sharing my PPT with you as well. And my mail ID is available. I'll share that as well with you. Anybody wants to write back to me your most welcome to write back to me. Though I may not be able to answer it immediately, I'll just take some time to answer it back, but definitely I'll come back to you on that. You can also feel free to WhatsApp me about it in case you have any clarifications from me. Thank you so much.
You know. Any questions, dear students? Do you have any questions?
Yeah, any questions we are here to take.
Couple of minutes for you to ask questions to ma'am and sir. Both are available on the platform. Please, you can ask questions. There are two ways to not have questions. One, if you have understood everything. I think I
We can't
prefer
hear
that
Rajitha Garu. I want you. Can you be a little more louder?
I think they understood everything, and that is why we can't get any
Great.
questions.
If that is the case, I think
We will go with that optimism.
Yes, let's go with the optimism.
Thank you. So now I really take time and gather words to go for vote of
Spandana, I
thanks.
think
And
is putting one message. Rajita,
yes,
one
ma'am,
second.
please.
There is one Spandana who's putting one message. I hope she wants to talk something.
Please, please.
Yeah.
Spandana and
I'm unmuting her.
We need to unmute her actually.
Anuradha Karati, these people are giving messages. So hope so they are having something to tell. They need to tell something.
They are thanking ma'am. They are
Anisha,
thanking sir and madam.
nobody has anything to speak. At least you have an interaction. How was the session? How did you feel? I want you all to come up with some talk. It should be a much interactive session, no? That is why.
Yeah, see, because this is a webinar, I couldn't interact much. Had this been a one-to-one session, I mean, a group discussion kind of a session, I would have interacted.
One of you to please tell me at least how did you feel?
Good morning, madam.
Good morning, ma'am.
This is Spandana from TSWRDC Vanapati, ma'am.
Yes,
Ma'am, madam, it is more useful to me, ma'am, because I'm studying degree final year, ma'am. After this, I want to do job, ma'am. These skills are most useful for me, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Spandana. Thank you. That's a wonderful feedback. Anybody else?
Anybody else who can speak? Anjali was unmuted and unmuted. I think both Anjali and Anuradha.
Yeah, anybody else would like to share anything before? Rajitha, can we mute Spandana?
Rajita, unmute yourself, Amma.
So it's time to take gather words to give vote of thanks to these eminent people. I'm really excited to actually, come and get onto this Zoom platform, and really I'm enlightened with a lot of points to learn as a teacher to how to teach my students, how to interact with them, how to make them polished to corporate market outlets. And I'm really happy and thankful to the two great speakers, that is Nagaraju sir, my guru, and Chetana Jain ma'am, corporate firm. And thanks to Gadapa ma'am, because she was the one who referred me to Chetana ma'am, and I really thank ma'am for this opportunity to welcome you on this platform. Now I gather up a warm and grateful good afternoon to everyone, and passing on to the chief guest, registered, the best speakers ever I have met, and Principal Ma'am, our beloved Principal Ma'am, Dr.Nirupa Ma'am, because I can see her active 24/7 and working hard to bring the best content to our students, I thank you, ma'am, for giving us this opportunity. Also, I thank Vice Principal Ma'am Vijay Lakshmi Garu for being a constant support and motivation in making this event a grand success. Also, my dear worthy teachers on the background, they have worked so hard, ma'am, because they have been calling students as they have in parallel many other sessions going on Zoom and Teams. But anyway, they make time to pull the students, and also I thank students, beloved students who have just signed out from one class and jumped into this session to attend our presentations, and I really love them. And also amicable Gurukula family, because I have found many students from different other colleges who have logged in and listened to your session, interacted with you, and they have learned many important things. It's my privilege to thank our beloved Secretary, sir, because I believe that he is a man of doing. He's a man of action who always takes a task and finishes it in time. And a tons of thanks to him, because without him, I don't think so. This online sessions on such a far extent, such a good space wouldn't have happened. I also thank Higher Education Cell Joint Secretary Sir Mamidala sir for being a motivation and a direct example for all of us, because he always goes with practical thinking and practical doing. He says we need two people. We don't want people who just dream. We don't want dream people, just dream people. We want dream plus do people. And I think this session is a realization of what our sir has been telling us. I also thank OSD sir and the CEO ma'am, Rajni ma'am, an active and dynamic lady for promoting such sessions. I take words to thank Gita ma'am especially, and all my colleague friends, my HOD, Dr. Jyothi, and my friend Vichala, and also my all colleagues over there at the campus who have been working so hard to support us. I thank teaching and non-teaching staff. And last but not the least, yes, my dear students, I thank you so much, because without you, we are not here. And I really love you all, and thank you so much for giving us this opportunity. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Nirupa. I think you're the principal. Thank you so much for the opportunity, and I hope everybody enjoyed the session, and we could give some valuable inputs, and hope they would be able to use them in their future to come, and that will enlighten them in a small way. Probably sharing our experience. Though this digital platform is not very comfortable to share all that we can with them, but still, because of this hard time, we are compelled to use this particular platform. But then I'm sure this would have done some great help. Thank you so much. Good
Millions
day
of
to all of
thanks
you.
to you, ma'am, for being with us. Really, it's a time for gratitude, as you said, and yes, we always are gratitude to you, and thank you so much from bottom of my heart.
I
Any
think
words from Nirupa ma'am? Because she
Nirupa
has
ma'am,
been a constant support to us, ma'am. You can always take this. She is a constant support to us in conducting seminars and organizing webinars. So any words, final words, ma'am?
I think Nirupa ma'am is speaking. She needs to be unmuted.
That support will be always there from my side. Only thing, you should keep rocking, and much more of interaction to be required. Anyways, well done, job was done. And I hope, because only one thing is, because it's a live session, ma'am, those who have missed it now, they will definitely make use of the thing of whatever we spoke now. It will be useful for them, and we will be playing it, and every time, maybe after the lockdown is over also, we will be just recapitulating what you have been telling and all, what you told and all. So it
Yes,
is
yes,
going to
yes.
be a very wonderful session, and thank you so much for coming.
Anytime, Nirupa ma'am. It will be my absolute pleasure after the lockdown also, if, to come down and help out your students on any subject that you want. I mean, it will be my absolute pleasure, because I look at it as one way of giving back to the society. Knowledge is the best thing that you can share. Money probably doesn't help so much. So, and knowledge is the only thing that will help me also grow. So I would always be happy to do that. And now I would, with your permission, I would leave the meeting. And Rajitha Garu, probably I'll get the link of the recording once we are
Yes.
done with this.
In a couple of minutes, you will have the link
There
on
in
your
the
chat
chat,
box.
ma'am.
WhatsApp.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank Thank you.
Okay, good day to all. Bye-bye.
Right.
You
Thank
too,
you so much.
everyone.
And this is the end of the session or end of the day for today. Right. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank you
you,
all the
ma'am. Thank
students
you
and
all.
well done English department.
Thank
Good
you
job.
so much.